going to do a quick get ready with me. I've already started, but I thought I'll jump on anyway, even though I've got my base on. So what I do is I prep my skin with my Inky List products. So hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, collagen peptide, and then my caffeine eye cream. So that's my base. Then when that has dried in, I use the Drunk Elephant Be Goldie Bright Drops. So I do like a little Z, a little Z, a little line, dot and a dot, and then I rub those in and then let that kind of set for a few seconds. Then I have 3 products that I am currently using. So this one has lost all its stickers, and I kept getting sort of like letters all over my face and I couldn't figure out what it was from. So I take the thing out, put 2 scoops on my hand, like get it off the applicator. Then I use like a tiny pump of this, not much. And then I use a tiny pump of this. Okay, now these are all Charlotte Tilbury products. All you want is like, I think this is like a glowy thing, a high coverage foundation and a low coverage foundation in your colors. Okay, so I mix all of these. Then I apply it with this brush like this, all over my face. I wipe the excess off my hand onto my neck. And then when I am ready, I get my fingers and I just apply like this. Right, now I'm gonna do the body of my makeup and then come back for the questions that everybody asks, which is my lips and my mascara. So here I was using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the colour 2 medium, and I use a really thick angled brush and I put that just on where I want to contour my face, and that tends to be my cheekbones, my temples, the tops of my forehead, my chin and my neck, and then I buff that out with a clean brush before I go on to my next step. So here I use the same product with a fluffy brush and just carve out my nose and just do that down the sides, under the tip and in the crease of the nose there, you can see. Then I buff that out also. And here I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the number 1 Pale. And I use a small brush and I get that packed into the highly oily areas and my eyelids, and then I get a big brush and then put it all over just to mattify my face. Then I use the Tarte blusher in the colour Party, and that's over my temples, my cheeks, my nose, my chin, buff it out, and voila, my base is done.